Hi guys, Murph here for another NASCAR Heat 4 setup video. This time it's from Kansas Speedway in the Cup car. Now, unlike what I've done in the past, I'll put the setup at the end of the video. I'll show you the settings I've been using to practice with. ×2 fuel wear and consumption, 13% race length, single stage, no yellows, just so I can get the good green flag runs, make sure the setup is good on tyres. Match that with the tyre wear. Now we'll flick across and I'll show you the fastest lap I ever did. So we're entering turn 3 and 4. First thing you might notice, I'm up on the top, I'm up on the high groove, so like where I like to run if the track gives it to me. So start off the lap, you want to diamond and apex the inside of the triangle, cut the corner. Now you want to just breathe off the accelerator a wee bit, enough to slow about 10 to 12 mile per hour off, and then get back to the gas as early as possible. You want to be aiming for about 180 miles an hour off the corner. Get a bit of a draft from the car ahead and do the same through turn 3 and 4, that high line. Now I did have to go down a wee bit lower than I would have wanted, thinking that I was going to have to pass that car, but I got to the exit before I did. And there you go, a 30.603, didn't quite get into the fives. We'll flick across now to a long run, end of the run setup. This was 20 laps further on, 40 laps if you take the ×2 into account. As you can see, I'm breathing off the throttle a lot more. I'm about 10 mile an hour down on my top speed. Mid-corner speed. Top speed still gets up to close to 190, but just having to lift off way longer in the corner, getting down to about 170 miles an hour, 170, 172. Now, during the race, I couldn't quite keep up with the the top AI over the long run, but I was still pretty decent. As a 5th place, I made a few mistakes which didn't help, but 5th place will do. And you can see the tyre wear is pretty even, slightly more on the rear, which does help loosen the car up over the long run. I found if I leant towards even or even going to more front wear, it just understeered too much. I just lost too much speed. You're about a second a lap slower, about 0.9 of a second a lap slower over the long run. Now here's the setup. Biggest thing I found with this setup was just trying to balance a stable car with getting it to rotate, and that was always the hard part. The 2 clicks difference I normally do between bump to rebounding 2 clicks higher, but I did lower the left sides by a wee bit compared to the right, just to help get the car to compress into that corner a bit more into that left and cut a bit better. Now with the weight settings, the left side, obviously left side as far to the left as possible. The front weight, just a wee bit across the front. If you're finding the car's not rotating enough for you, that's actually quite a good way to improve it, is by pulling that weight just slightly back, only doing about 0.2 increments. Another way, you can also lower the wedge if it's not rotating enough for you. If it's oversteering on the corner, in the mid corner, and the corner entry, definitely you can always raise up the wedge, and conversely obviously bring it down if it's too tight. The springs, left side a bit lower than the right, again just to help get that weight onto the left side a bit better. Tyre pressures. Now tyre pressures is an interesting one. Because of the nature of the track, you can play around a bit. If you want a bit more straight line speed, you can certainly chuck these up by 2 psi, 3 psi. Just keep chucking up until you feel comfortable. But by doing so, you'll sacrifice mid-corner speed. Again, conversely, you'll probably still go down a wee bit and gain a wee bit of grip. You probably not by a lot though. Maybe a psi or 2 down just could give you a bit better grip. Cambers. Now I've seen some setups, especially around here. I've looked at some of the other setups on YouTube, and a lot of them were running 8 camber. Now I don't know whether I'm just getting worse front tyre wear with my driving style, or whether their setups allowing them to run high cambers, but I just found didn't give me any more speed gain, and I was just burning through those front tyres myself. So Front sway bar, you could go up or down if it's really loose or really tight. If it's really loose, you can go up by 1 click. If it's really tight, you can go down by 1 click to free it up. It's very sensitive though. If you're close, ignore that. If you're miles off, definitely you can increase or lower that if you need a big swing at it. I've got the left side track bar higher than the right, and that was just to help seal the car down off the corner. If the car's too loose, it could be a good way to improve that. What I do first is lower the right track bar if it's loose off the corner. If you're finding it's tight off the corner, you probably lower the left or raise the right just to even it up. That should help a lot. Brake bias, that's personal preference. It's really only used for pitting, maybe trying to avoid an accident or trying not to run over lap traffic. The grill, I keep bouncing between 40 and 45. Sometimes 45 would overheat, sometimes it wouldn't. I would lean towards 40, but try it yourself. Your driving style may allow more air into it, or may allow you to run more tape. So if you can always try and bumping that up to 45. Wheel lock, a bit of personal preference. Steering offset, personal preference. And the gear ratios, I found, probably don't want to really change those. It seems to be in the sweet spot. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, or if that is helpful, definitely leave a comment. I'd love you to also leave a comment of what track I should do next. I very much appreciate it if you do. As well as feel free to hit the old like and subscribe button, and look out for more future videos coming up in the next few days. Thanks for watching. Ciao.